Alright, so we're going to jack up our 2019 Pilot. I'm going to show you where these jack points are and how we put it up on all four wheels so that we can put jack stands all the way around the car. Okay, so the equipment that I use, I use these two floor jacks. They're both 3-ton. They're from Harbor Freight, and I'll use one of them on the front jack point. I'll put 2 jack stands on the front, and then I will lower the jack so that it's not only not touching the jack point, but I'll lower it several inches lower, because when we go to jack up the back of the car, it's gonna make the front of the car come back down. So you need to be careful about that, not to think that you can just put this just under the jack point when you're doing the back of the car. So we're gonna get our front on 2 jack stands, lower that several inches. We're gonna use this other jack stand in the back to jack it up and get the car on all 4 jack stands. And then once it's on all 4 jack stands, then I'll jack these floor jacks back up to where they're just touching the jack point. And I do that as a safety mechanism so that if I'm under the car, I have more than one thing holding it up. So this is what I'm using is 2 3-ton floor jacks, and then I have 4 3-ton jack stands that I bought off of Amazon. And I'm not particular to brands on these things. These are Touring, I believe. Torin 3-ton. I have a 3-ton set and a 2-ton set. The 2-ton are shorter, so I use those on sedans, and the 3-tons I use on the SUVs that we have. And so that's what I use. The 3-ton are a little bit wider base, so they have a little more stability, and they're taller so that you have more stability when you're going higher. So the first thing I'll do is, let me get a light. I'm going to show you the jack points before I jack it up. Okay, so the front jack point on this car is very close to the front. So we're going to point that out to you. It's this point right here. You've got this bracket right here that's reinforced on this crossbar. So we've got the saddle of our floor jack where it's gonna hit right there, and that's our front jack point right here. So we're gonna jack up the front. So all I really need, since I'm really not working under the car much, all I'm doing is changing the oil into there. I don't need a lot of clearance, but I need my front tires off the ground, but I also got to realize when I jack the back up, the front tires are going to go down a little bit. So I want to get a little more height out of this than what I think I need, so that I don't end up having to adjust it later. I do have the emergency brake on. I usually don't chock the wheels when I'm jacking up the whole vehicle. You can do that. I think I'm going to go just a little bit more where I can get one more notch on that there. Okay, so that's in a good spot. I'm gonna go check the other side. Let me go ahead and point this out. One of the things on almost every car that is consistent is where you actually put your jack stand. So almost every car has these reinforced points. So see on this car, it's got these reinforced pieces of metal right here. That's where your jacks go, your jack stands. So the jack stand point is there, and then, you know, our floor jack has a jack point, but this is for jack stands. So now I've got this side and the other side resting right under there. So now I'm going to slowly release my floor jack. And if you've never used a floor jack, you release it by rotating the handle counterclockwise very slowly. And so when you want to jack up a car, you always make sure it's rotated clockwise all the way before you jack up a car. So I'm going to release it by going counterclockwise slowly and just let the car gently down on those jack stands. Okay. See, it's still settling. And now, at this point, the car is 100% supported in the front by those jack stands. So I'm gonna check them. That's in a good spot. It's very stable. It's locked in. This other side, make sure it's the same way. Very stable, locked in. And like I said, when I work under there, I would make sure that this floor jack was touching the jack point. But because I'm getting ready to jack up the back of the car, I'm gonna lower it several inches, like 3-4 inches, to accommodate what's about to happen. So now I'm gonna show you the jack point in the back. This car has very good jack points. It's very easy car to figure out what to do. So got a little helper here. She gets excited about helping with these car projects. So here, there is our jack point right there. Same as in the front, got a bar going across, and that's on there for that purpose. So we take our jack saddle, we got our jack handle rotated all the way clockwise so that it'll jack up the car. I just carefully line the saddle up so it'll be in the middle of that jack point. So there I am. So now we're jacking it up. And this one, all I really need is the back tires to be off the ground because I've already got the front jacked up. So this is very predictable because it's not going to go down. So I got enough clearance already to rotate the tires. I'm going to go see about my jack stands. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a little bit more height so I can try to get pretty level. Alright. Okay. So that one is ready. I'm gonna go get the other side ready so we can set it down. All right, here I go. I'm gonna turn this handle slowly counterclockwise. We're gonna set that down on the jack stand. You can slowly hear it settling. And at this point, it's all the weights on the jack stands. And now I'm gonna slowly, tighten this jack back up to by turning this handle clockwise. I'm gonna slowly pump it up until it just makes contact with the jack point. I'm gonna leave it there as a safety measure, where now both the jack stands and the jack are supporting it in the back. I'm gonna just double check my jack stand that it's solid. On this side. Okay. So now remember, I put this one down lower because I knew the front was going to come down as the back came up. So now I've got to remember to close that gap. So, and it moves also. So the car moves a little bit when the jacks are back up. So I got to kind of realign this one with my jack point. Tighten up my jack by going clockwise with the handle, and then just make contact with the jack point. So now I've got 6 contacts holding up this car. 4 jack stands and 2 floor jacks. Okay, so to get the car off of jack stands, we do reverse order of what we did. So remember, so we're gonna go ahead and begin by getting the back of the vehicle off of jack stands. I don't have to worry about changing this jack position because the car is going to actually go up, not down this time. So all I have to do is come back here and start jacking up the back of the vehicle. Make sure that I'm still on my jack point there. Just jack it up a few times. That should be enough to free these jack stands. Just pull the handle, get them out of the way. So now I have no jack stands, so now I'm going to slowly lower the vehicle down by rotating this counterclockwise, and just do it very slowly. Let those tires hit the ground. Just kind of let it down all the way. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing here. This one, need to make sure the saddle is in the right place. So I get down here where I can see. Okay, I'm in a good spot. Same thing, do about 3 or 4 pumps. Take the pressure off the jack stands. Okay. All right, we had some neighbors stop and pet our puppy. So after we've jacked it up in the front, this is how you release your floor jacks. You just lift up on this. And see, it's not coming yet. So that means I need to jack it up a little bit more. I'll give it about 3 more pumps. Now I'll give it another pull. Just pull it like that. I'll go do the other side. Always make sure you're not going to trip over your floor jack as you're going around the car. Pull this one. Now go ahead and set this down lightly. Never set it down hard. Okay. And this job is done. So please remember to look in the video description for links and helpful tips. And so I hope this video has been helpful for you.